Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in another Fortnite video, and in today's video, I wanted to be talking about the biggest advantages and also disadvantages when it comes to controller versus keyboard and mouse. There is some advantages that controller players have, and also some advantages keyboard and mouse players have, and vice versa as far as disadvantages as well. So I wanted to make a full video covering the differences and give you guys my opinion on both. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I'm going to be giving away 2,000 V-Bucks. And if you guys want a chance to enter this giveaway, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Turn on my post notifications and also leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And you guys will be automatically entered into my next giveaway, which I'm giving away 2,000 V-Bucks. If you guys want some free V-Bucks, make sure you guys do enter into the giveaway. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so here in this video, I wanted to be talking about the advantages and also disadvantages when it comes to controller as well as keyboard and mouse, because there is a few things you guys may or may not know as far as advantages and also disadvantages between controller players and also keyboard and mouse players. So I really wanted to be talking about in this video because I thought it was like an interesting thing to talk about. So first, let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of keyboard and mouse players. So keyboard and mouse, of course, is going to be the go-to for most pro players here in this game because there's so many advantages that you have with keyboard and mouse as opposed to controller, which makes it ideal for playing Fortnite. Now, it doesn't have everything, but there is a lot of main concepts and points that make keyboard and mouse players have an advantage. I mean, you even see this in the World Cup, all those big and high, those big tournaments for a lot of money. Most of the people who play, if not all of them, are going to be on keyboard and mouse. So of course with that, there's going to be a lot of advantages with keyboard and mouse players and that they have. So just to name a few of the major advantages that they have, and then I'll get into the disadvantages. So the advantages, of course, is going to be having just unlimited binds. You can have a ton of binds in the game. You can bind it to anything from on your mouse. If your mouse has certain buttons, you can go in any key that you want, and there's just unlimited options when it comes to choosing exactly what you want to have for exactly what. There's so many more options when it comes to choosing your I guess the binds that you have, because you have a lot more it's a lot more customizable and there's a lot more things you can do as opposed to controller. You basically have the scuff controllers, elite controllers, and then people who play claw. Those are the main three. But with keyboard and mouse players, I don't even know anybody who has the exact same binds. There's always going to be someone who has a little bit different. So depending on exactly what you like or what you feel more comfortable at, then you're going to have that kind of ability to do and to change exactly whatever you'd like to. And the next advantage is going to be when it comes to your sensitivity, because you have it's so much easier when it comes to being able to control your mouse versus a controller, because on a controller, you guys already know you have a joystick, but on keyboard and mouse, when it comes to aiming, when it comes to building, it's going to be 10 times easier on a mouse because you just have such more control, because you're using your entire arm, your entire wrist to aim versus you just using your thumbstick with your thumb. So it's going to be a lot easier to control on mouse and keyboard. So slow movements, fast movements, you can pretty much, if you want to go very, very slow, you can do that. If you want to go very, very fast, you can also do that at the exact same time without having to just change your sensitivity every single time that you want to do it. Because if you guys aren't able to turn around fast enough on controller, then you're going to have to mess around with your sensitivity. But if you can't turn around fast enough on keyboard and mouse, all you have to do is just get a bigger mouse pad or just slightly raise up your DPI, your CPI, whatever you guys are using. So you just want to raise it up a little bit, and you're going to be able to be at the same or exactly at the sensitivity that you want to be at. If you want to move fast, slow, whatever you'd want to, it's going to be a lot easier to do that on keyboard and mouse as opposed to doing that on a controller. So that's kind of the big advantages when it comes to keyboard and mouse. But a disadvantage that really is a big problem that I've noticed when I play on keyboard and mouse, for those guys who've been playing keyboard and mouse for a very, very long time, it probably isn't the big issue at all. But one thing that I noticed is not having that 360 movement. So only being able to move with AWSD, the movement keys on keyboard and mouse. So if you want to move in a direction, you have to press W to go forward, you press A to go left, and then you press D to go right. And of course, when you're moving your mouse, you have a little bit more leeway when it comes to turning. But all in all, you don't have the 360 movement as with controller, because on controller, when it comes to your thumbsticks, you can move it in any sort of direction you want. Your left analog stick, it is super easy to move. I mean, you can literally move sideways if you want to. On keyboard and mouse, you do not have that luxury or advantage to do so. So it's just not going to be able to work. So on keyboard and mouse, that's going to be a huge disadvantage to playing on that. But like I said, when it comes to the people who play competitively, that isn't the biggest of problems, because you have the biggest advantage when it comes to aiming, when it comes to your sensitivity, when it comes to your binds. You just have so many more options that make it 10 times easier to play on keyboard and mouse versus playing on controller. And then you also have that really overpowered scroll wheel reset, where you just scroll up on your on your mouse, scroll up on the scroll wheel, and it can automatically reset your edit. Versus on controller, you have to hit like 3 buttons. So you can have double edit binds, triple edit binds if you want, and that is just super overpowered for keyboard and mouse players. So going into control advantage that you have, and this really depends, this first one depends on the type of aim assist that you're using. So if you're using linear, exponential, or legacy, that also has a big role, because on legacy, when it comes to aiming at range, aiming at a medium distance, you have an L2 spam. So every time you press L2, it pretty much just auto goes over to the player you're looking at if you aim very close to them. So that is very, very OP at a lot of times. And if you get very good at aiming with it, trust me, you're going to be hitting so many shots. You're going to be beaming kids, especially if you guys play arena. When it comes to people rotating in and out of the zone, you're going to be just lasering them with your L2, lasering them with the analog stick. It's pretty crazy. You can aim and just destroy players at such an advantage over keyboard and mouse players when it comes to range, because it's not as easy without aim assist on keyboard and mouse to aim at those ranges. But when you have a controller and you play on legacy settings, the old settings, it is very, very easy to do so. You're going to be getting a lot of damage off other players, a lot of eliminations, and just going to be able to play very well at that end game when it comes to arena, or if you're playing in a lot of these the cash cups, things like that. End game is going to be very good for controller players. And if you do play on linear, when it comes to those close range fights, it's super overpowered. The SMG on linear is just out of this world. It's so good. It's so insane. And just to be honest with you guys, I've never met a keyboard and mouse player that has anywhere close to the same aim that I have when it comes to the SMG close range, because the linear aim assist really is just that powerful, and it's just super sticky, super effective, and close range SMG shots hip fire are going to be just insane when it comes to controller players. So they might have that advantage at that range. And of course, with the disadvantage of controller, you can't be as original as you want to. Most people have around the same type of binds, depending on if they play non-claw, they play with claw, elite controller, scuff controller with paddles, whatever they're currently using. So their binds are a lot limited. There's not as much you can do. So that is a big disadvantage to controller players, not being able to just pull any gun out whenever you want. You have to just press RB and LB to move over. That's a huge disadvantage. And one thing I noticed, placing traps on controller is just obsolete. It's just so difficult to do sometimes. And it's super buggy, super glitchy, at least in my experience. A lot of you guys may or may not feel the same way. And on keyboard and mouse, I feel like I get trap killed by them all the time, because they can just make their sensitivity extremely high. And also, I feel like their traps just connect a lot better for some reason, and mine just don't. I don't know if that's a controller thing, or maybe I'm just bad at placing traps. I don't really know, but I do seem to have that problem when I play. So those are really the biggest advantages and also disadvantage when it comes to keyboard and mouse and when it comes to controller players. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys liked it, make sure you guys do drop a like. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my post notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.